Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Coming back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler every series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie, I've been waiting for this dish for a few days now, so boy, do I hope it's super good. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I am inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear a super cool shirt, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today? Happens to be my Don the Dragon Wilson tradition shirt. But who's Don the Dragon Wilson? What is traditions? Why do I have such a fancy shirt collection? Well, I have a fancy shirt collection because I kick ass. I'm just saying. But Don the Dragon Wilson is an absolute kickboxing legend. He's an 11-time title holder. He's also a bit of a film star, kind of B-list celebrity in that regard as well. I became aware of his stuff through his films well over a decade ago at this point. And, I love martial arts movies. I was really digging his stuff. And then I got, kind of started following his kickboxing career and stuff, looking back at highlight videos and some of his old matches and everything. Dude was absolutely incredible. Like, just a fucking beast. Like, and in such an incredible way because he was such a smart fighter. He wasn't going to, like, pummel you into submission. He was going to wait for those opportunities and just fucking one-shot you. It was so cool. But yeah, big fan of his work. And Traditions is actually a clothing line that he has some affiliation with. So that's why, you get cool designs like this. So if you happen to be interested, there is a website for Traditions and stuff like that. You can get your own Don the Dragon Wilson shirt. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? So yeah, I actually just got through doing a review of some sesame beef from a local Chinese establishment called China House. And I like China House a lot. They are definitely a place that I've ordered from any number of times. In fact, I have ordered from them while watching Don the Dragon Wilson movies. But I hadn't done a review for them yet. And I love supporting local places, and what with this being a local place, on top of that, what with it being a local place, that means that this review is going to end up on my Eating Out Illinois playlist, which is a playlist for just local spots. And so yeah, I went over there, I got through reviewing that. You can go watch that review if you're interested. And I mentioned that I'd really sort of gotten into the idea of Chinese food a few days ago, but really there was one thing that was in my head more than anything else. And that happens to be, boom! But what is this? This is also from China House, obviously. This is their, boom, Teriyaki Chicken. Oh boy, that is some sauciness. I have just been wanting some teriyaki anything, man. It just got in my head, and I was like, so, I don't know if I've ever had the teriyaki chicken from China House. I have, like, certain go-to items and stuff like that, so let's get a thing for the thing here, and we'll kind of try to make it look a little bit sexy. We'll do it like this. We'll kind of let's give it a go. Chicken's really good. Really nice and tender, cooked really nicely. I like that a lot. Teriyaki flavor, it's kind of interesting. When I think of, like, teriyaki, and especially in relation, I mean, it's kind of weird when you think about it. I'm from the generation where, Chinese food, when I was growing up, when I was very little, was still considered to be, like, a little bit exotic, it was a little bit of, like, a ooh kind of thing, when you ordered it. At least in my part of the country, anyway. And, one of the things that I would always go to is, I'd get, like, some teriyaki pork or some teriyaki chicken or what have you. And usually it was, like, more layered on, a little bit heavier. This is much lighter. It's almost more like a saute kind of vibe to it, especially with all of the vegetables in there. So it's a little bit lighter than what I was thinking, but That's not a bad thing. It's just different. But it's actually really tasty. It does have that kind of sweetness to it. It's got a little bit of a vibrancy to it, I'm enjoying that. Yeah, this definitely reminds me more of like a stir fry than kind of what I had in my head, which in some ways is probably better. But at the same time, yeah, I do sort of, because you don't see it as much as you used to. I do lament like the teriyaki chicken style that I used to get when I was a kid, where again, it was more layered on, thicker. But I am enjoying this. Like I said, I like the chicken is really good. Really nice flavor on it. Get some of the veg. As a kid, because I was a kid, I always used to just kind of keep the veg off to the side and just toss it. But now as an adult, I'm actually quite partial to it. Veg is nice. I like the addition of the green peppers. I always love green peppers and stuff. I know my friend Paul, who occasionally watches my videos, so hello, Paul, if you happen to watch this one. I know he's not a big fan of green peppers, but I like green peppers, man. Love them. Some people say they don't have a lot of flavor. I don't agree with that. There's more flavorful peppers, to be fair, but even the onions, which I'm not a big fan of onions, but with the sauce and everything like that, they're not abrasive. They're actually nice. They contribute to the dish nicely. Yeah, this is a nice dish. It's a little bit, ooh, there we go. Definitely got a little extra hit of the onion with that one. As you can see, I'm eating quite a bit of it. Yeah, no, that's nice. Again, it is definitely different than what I was expecting. But that's not on China House or anything like that. That's just, expectation versus reality. I like it though. 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yes. Caveats. Yes. Just yes. So here's the thing. For me personally, I like the dish. I think it's really nice. The veg is really nice and fresh. Nice crunch to it. Nice textural elements to it. All of that's really good. The chicken definitely cooked really nicely. Nice flavor to it. And then the teriyaki sauce itself, again, a little bit lighter than kind of what I was expecting and everything, but it's nice. And again, it reminds me kind of like a stir-fry dish, and I can get down with that. I like some stir-fry. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, there used to be this one restaurant me and my dad used to go to all the time. They had a stir-fry dish there. Sadly, that place is gone, but I like getting that. Here's the only caveat with it. Would I get this, again, specifically if I was looking for that teriyaki aspect that I was talking about at the beginning? No. Because although the teriyaki flavor is nice, it is, again, it's much lighter than what I was kind of aiming for. And it's one of those things where, again, like, I'm not going to consider it a gripe because, like, it is really nice and flavorful. It's just different than what I was expecting. And for me personally, if I want that strong teriyaki flavor, that's really what I'm looking for when I want a teriyaki dish. But at the same time, if I wanted like a nice stir-fry dish with sort of a teriyaki flair, I would get this again. Because it's really nice. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's really tasty. And if I'm recommending it, like, I mean, I guess pretty much the same principle as what I was talking about for me. But at the same time, like, that's kind of what this review is about, right? So, if it's something where, again, if you're like me, you want that stronger teriyaki flavor, maybe look into other options. But, again, if you want a nice sort of stir-fry style dish, with a little teriyaki personality to it, like, it's just a nice dish. It's chicken, it's vegetables, it's a nice tasting sauce. You really can't go wrong with that. So, I'm down. But 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there, have yourselves a truly teriyaki-tastic rest of your life. The only problem I do run into now is now I'm still got that Jonesin for that teriyaki-ness. I'm gonna have to make this happen somehow. Final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, are you from the same generation as I am? Do you remember Chinese food being like a little bit of a special thing? Because these days, like, it's entirely prevalent, prevalent and pervasive throughout the United States. I don't think there's too many people, maybe like real rural spots. But now obviously the scope of cuisine that's available is, significantly larger than when I was a kid. And, but yeah, like, if you have any memories like that, let me know, because like I said, there were certain things, teriyaki chicken, get some barbecue pork. Those are like my go-to items as a kid. So anyway.